Hello?
Yeah, it's not audible.
What is RTM document?
Sir, video not.
Right. Religion. Let's say we are working on some big project. Many requirements to be covered or tested in the current project. A manager or a lead or a team member may not able to remember every time totally what are the requirements, for how many requirement scenarios are covered, for how many requirement test cases are prepared and to be prepared. We need to have a track totally what are the requirements. For the requirement one, what are the scenarios prepared, what are the test case prepared. We'll update a document where we list out, first of all, totally what are the requirements to be covered in the product. Then the requirements are allocated to the team members. You write scenarios for requirement one, you write scenarios for requirement two, you write test cases for requirement one, you write test cases for requirement two. The manager allocated the work. The team members started writing scenarios and test cases. First, what I will do, I list out totally what are the requirements to be covered in the product. I make this document available in a centralized location. I'll give the access to all of my team members to access this document requirement traceability matrix. I ask one team member, you write scenarios for requirement one. She prepared scenarios for requirement one. Scenario one, scenario two, scenario three, scenario four. Say 4 scenarios are created, prepared for requirement one. The scenario numbers will be updated to corresponding requirement name in the RTM document. Let's say 8 test cases are created. These are the 8 test cases are prepared for requirement one will be mapped. Mapping requirements to corresponding scenarios and corresponding test cases is called requirement traceability document. Let's say this is our project testing. Any project comes with a set of requirements to be covered. Let's say totally there are about 10 requirements to be tested. At first, I list out all requirements in the project in a document, Excel sheet. I allocate the work to my team members. The team members prepare scenarios and test cases for the given requirement. Say for the requirement one, 2 scenarios are prepared, scenario 1 and scenario 2. For the requirement 2, another 2 scenarios are created. For every scenario, some test cases are prepared. So here, every requirement is mapped to corresponding scenario numbers and corresponding test case numbers. Now, we can able to trace what are the test cases belongs to one scenario. That is one requirement. Requirement wise, every business requirement mapped to appropriate scenarios, appropriate test cases in a document called requirement traceability document. What is the advantage of having or preparing this kind of RTM document? Total number of requirements in the project, 10. Now, as a manager, I would like to know for how many requirement test cases are covered till now. As per the status, for how many requirement test cases are covered as per this? Only 1. Out of 10 requirements, only for 1 requirement test case are covered. See, who will update all this? I allocated the work to my team members. You write scenarios for requirement 1. You write test cases for requirement 1. Something like this. Once the scenarios are prepared, test cases are prepared, they are going to update the appropriate sections. Say today evening, this is the status. After writing scenarios, after creating test cases, team members are updating the appropriate sections. Supposing I created test cases for scenario 1, I map the test cases to scenario 1 in the RTM. Now let us say, once the scenarios are prepared, test cases are prepared, team members are going to update it. Totally, there are 10 requirements to be covered in the product. Say today evening, this is the status. See, generally, as a manager, you prepare test cases, agreed. But this document is not updated by you. I do not consider you created test cases. Whatever updated in the centralized location only will be considered work completed. So your job, after you write scenario, after you write test cases, immediately you need to update the RTM document. So I don't ask all of my team members what is the work you did, what is the work you did. Once you prepare the scenarios, once you created the test cases, immediately you need to update the RTM document. You have to map your test cases to appropriate scenario and appropriate requirement. So as a manager, I consider whatever the status available in the RTM, only the current status of the project. So today evening, this is the status. Totally 10 requirements to be covered. As per the RTM status, out of 10, only for 1 requirement test case are completed. So 10% of the test case coverage is achieved. Still, 90% of the test case preparation work is pending. The next day, again my team members created test cases. After preparing test cases, they map the test case numbers here. Now I consider 20% of the test case coverage is achieved, still 80% of the work is pending. These I have to update to my next level. In order to track for how many requirement test cases are covered, to be covered, RTM document is helpful for the management. That is one advantage. To track the percentage of test coverage, RTM document is helpful for the manager, team lead level, manager level. What are the other advantages? I asked one of my team members, today you execute test cases for money transfer. Today you execute test cases for online bills payment. They have access to the test case database. Totally 400 test cases are available for this project. Totally 400 test cases are prepared for this big project testing. I assign a work to my team member. Today you execute, you test money transfer functionality. You test online bills payment functionality. These two people have access to 400 test cases. What is the question to these people now? Out of 400? What are all the test cases belongs to money transfer? His question, what are the test cases belongs to online bills payment out of 400? If I don't have a RTM document, you need to study all test case description, then only you can understand what are the test cases belongs to money transfer. When you refer the RTM, somewhere the requirement name available, money transfer, test case numbers available. Now the team member will have the clarity, okay, these 4 test cases, test case 5, test case 6, test case 7, test case 8. These 4 test cases belongs to the requirement money transfer, so I have to execute these 4 test cases. If I don't have a RTM, during test execution, build 1 or build 2 or build 3 or build 4 test case execution, if I allot the work to my team members, you do this, you do this, you do this, you test money transfer, you test online bills payment, you test deposits, you test withdrawal, all these people will have access to 400 test cases. The question, what are the test cases belongs to this money transfer? What are the test cases belongs to this online bills payment? When the team members refer the RTM, somewhere requirement name available, money transfer, online bills payment, deposits. Every requirement mapped to corresponding test case numbers. Now it is very clear, these 4 test cases belongs to money transfer, so I have to execute these 4 test cases. Hope you are getting what I am trying to say. As we are able to filter a group of test cases belongs to a particular requirement, test execution process will become easy and effectively. It's another advantage. The first advantage, management level advantage. Total requirements are available in one area, RTM document. These 100 requirements to be covered. For how many requirement scenarios are prepared to be prepared. For how many requirement test cases are covered and to be covered can be tracked from a single summary report called RTM. In order to track percentage of work completed, percentage of work pending, manager level RTM document is helpful. Team member level usage of the RTM document. Multiple people working on the same project. There are so many test cases are available for this project. I schedule the work to my team members. You test this requirement, you test this requirement. They should be able to find out what are the test cases belongs to a particular requirement. When they refer the RTM, we can able to trace a batch of test cases belongs to a particular requirement. Test execution process will go easily by the team members. They no need to ask me or ask other team members again, what are the test cases belongs to this money transfer. When they refer the RTM, every requirement, corresponding test case numbers available. In these 400 test cases, okay, these 4 test cases belongs to money transfer. I have to run these 4 test cases. It is very clear to the team member now. The other advantage. After 3 months, after 3 years, it is a maintenance project. Customer asks for some change request. Previously, money transfer functionality, service charges are different. When amount between 1,000 to 10,000 transfer, 5 rupees are service charges. 10,001 to 50,000 transfer, 10 rupees are service charges. 50,001 to 1 lakh is transfer, 20 rupees are service charges. These are the old conditions. Accordingly, we have created test case and test data. Today, our customer posted a change request. Reserve Bank of India changed some conditions rules. From February 1st onwards, or say March 1st onwards, below 10,000 rupees, 2 rupees are service charges. 10,001 to 50,000, 5 rupees are service charges. 50,001 to 1 lakh, 5 rupees are service charges, something like this. We received a change request from the client. Some modifications asked by the client. Accordingly, scenarios and test case also to be revised or not, modified or not. Because already test case and test data are prepared based on the old conditions. Now customer asks for some changes. Customer asks for some changes at a particular requirement. Now we are able to trace what are the scenarios belongs to this money transfer, what are the test cases belongs to this money transfer. So it is very clear to the QA team now, these are the scenarios and these are the test cases to be updated as per the new conditions given by the client. As we are able to trace scenarios and test cases belongs to a particular requirement, change request process can be easily and effectively implemented. These are the 3 major advantages of having RTM for a real-time project. Hope you understood this. Last point understood? Last point understood? What do you mean by change request? Customer asks for some new features. Customer asks for some changes in existing features. This will be called as change request shortly CR. While working, we use a term. Yesterday, we got a CR from the client. Yesterday, we received a CR from the client, meaning customer asked for some modifications. Accordingly, requirement documents to be updated, scenarios to be updated, test cases and test data also to be updated. Already the project is happening, running. It's live. We are providing the support for the client. Today, client asks for some changes. There are about 100 requirements in the product. Customer asks for changes at requirement 10. If I able to identify what are the scenarios belongs to requirement 10, what are the test cases belongs to requirement 10, so I study the change request accordingly, scenarios, test case and test data can be updated. As we are able to trace a group of test cases, scenarios belongs to a particular requirement, customer asks for any changes in a particular requirement, okay, these are the scenarios, these are the test cases to be updated. If I don't have RTM, whenever we receive a change request, really tracking and updating remaining work artifacts will become very difficult. These are the 3 major advantages you get by maintaining an RTM document for a project. Make a note of it. Advantages of RTM. What is RTM? Explain RTM. What are the advantages of RTM? Must ask to interview question. What is RTM? What is the purpose of RTM? What are the advantages of RTM? Must ask to interview question. Advantages of RTM. You answer me, what is the first advantage? All requirements are listed in RTM. These are the 100 requirements to be tested in our product. In Excel sheet, it is documented. Requirement 1, requirement 2, requirement 3, requirement 100. Requirement names also documented. All requirements are listed here. As it is a sample RTM, I listed only 5. The actual project may have hundreds of requirements. Total requirements belongs to your product will be listed in a sheet. These are the 100 requirements. Every day the team members, after they write scenarios, after they write test cases, belongs to the requirement. Mostly in companies, requirement-wise, work will be allotted. Say today I plan, next 1 month we test admin module of the product. There are about 10 requirements. These 4 people working on this product testing. I ask one person, you take care of 2 requirements. You write scenarios and test cases for first 2 requirements. You write scenarios and test cases for second 2 requirements. She study only requirement documents belongs to only first 2 requirements. She study only requirements belongs to second 2 requirements. Is one person testing the whole product? Right. Requirement wise, sometimes module wise, sub-module wise work will be allotted. First I listed totally what are the requirements to be covered in our product. And requirement wise, I am allotting the work to my team members. Once she completed scenarios and test cases for requirement 1, the numbers gets updated here. It is implicit day-to-day work by the team members. Soon after you write scenarios, soon after you write test cases, immediately you need to update it. Whatever available in the RTM, I consider this is only completed work. If you keep the test cases with you and not updated here, I do not know about it. Whatever you have updated, I consider that is only completed job. If you have not updated here, I consider you have not completed the work. Now all requirement names are available. Scenario numbers and test case numbers are mapped. By referring this document, I can understand for how many requirement scenarios are covered and to be covered. For how many requirement test cases are prepared and to be prepared. So management level advantage is to trace percentage of test coverage. For how many requirement test cases are covered and to be covered can be identified from the single report called RTM. It's the first advantage. Take the first one. To determine the percentage of test coverage. To determine the percentage of test coverage. Hope you understand the term percentage of test coverage. For how many requirement test cases are covered, to be covered can be identified from a report called RTM. The second one, you tell me. What is the other advantage? It's online team. What is the other advantage?
Sir, everyone know about what are the allotted requirement corresponding test cases, specifically individual testers, sir. They know each and every requirement, their corresponding scenario and test cases.
Right. And we are able to identify the scenarios belongs to a particular requirement. Test cases belongs to a particular requirement. If I ask one of my team members, today you run test cases belongs to requirement 1, or you test requirement 1. They no need to ask me again, sir, what are the test case I have to execute? I said my team member, today you test requirement 1. They refer the RTM. What are the test cases belongs to requirement 1? Numbers are available. So it is very clear to them, okay, these are the 4 test cases belongs to requirement 1. I have to run the 4 test cases. As we are able to identify a batch of test cases belongs to a particular requirement, test execution process will go easily. Note down the second point. As we are able to trace a group of test cases belongs to a specific requirement. A group of test cases belongs to a specific requirement. A group of test cases belongs to a specific requirement. Test case execution process become easy. Test case execution process made easy. What is the other advantage here? Whenever customer asks you some changes in a particular requirement, as we are able to identify scenarios belongs to this requirement, test cases belongs to this requirement. Now it is very clear to the team members, these are the scenarios and these are the test cases we have to update. Change request process can be easily incorporated because of we are able to trace scenarios and test cases belongs to a particular requirement. Take it. As we are able to identify scenarios and test cases, belongs to a specific requirement, test execution process will go smoothly. One second. Already I given this point, right? As we are able to identify scenarios and test cases belongs to a particular requirement, not test execution, sorry. Change request process can be easily implemented. Change request process can be easily implemented. Change request process can be easily implemented. So these are the major advantages of having RTM document. This is all about test to design phase. In software testing lifecycle, test planning, test analysis, test design, preparing scenarios, preparing test case and test data, and requirement traceability matrix. Let us jump into the next phase of software testing process. What is that? Test
Execution.
The name itself very clear. We have to execute the approved test case on the given build. See, you prepare test cases, submit to your senior team lead, who will have a check whether all the test cases are covered or anything was missed. Your lead verify your test cases and confirm, yes, these 100 test cases are enough for testing our product requirement. Once the test cases are prepared, verified, approved, the next task item executing the test case on the given build. We already discussed, I'm repeating. In software development process, when the requirements are finalized, your work starts. Finalized requirements are given to development team. They start constructing the build application. On the other side, you start writing scenarios and test cases. By the time system ready by the developer, you should be ready with approved test cases to execute. You prepared, your senior person verified and approved. We are ready with the test cases. System also ready. First version of the product, build. Build meaning? B-U-I-L-D, build. Will the developer will give the code to you for testing? The Java code or Python code will be directly given to you. The code, whatever they have created, translated into, converted into executable format of the application, right? That web application or that mobile APK. Executable format of the application is called a build. Say for example, our company people are developing a simple calculator application. We are developing a simple calculator application, say. For developing this calculator application, the programmers will create different programs. Some.prg, some Java code or Python code. Subtract.prg, the Java code or Python code. Multiplication.prg, the logic. Division.prg. Maybe let us say this code is made using Java. Now all programs are developed. Will they give the code to QA team for testing? What they do? Yes, what they do? At first, every program will be independently tested. Every program will be independently tested to confirm this logic is correct or not. What it is called? Unit testing. Once all these 4 units are independently tested, they integrate all programs and do integration testing. To the developer knowledge, everything is fine. They convert this code into the calculator application. This executable format of the application is called a build. First time code translated into one application. They number the build as first build number 1. Later they made some changes here, modifications here. The build 1 has output of the old code. Old code translated into build 1. Further some changes are made. This is actually application meaning binary format. Java code or Python code converted into binary format. Later they made some modifications here. After doing the modification, again this code will be converted into application. Build 2. Hope you understood this. Again they made some modification because customer asked for some new requirement. Build 3. Again they made some modification because customer asked for some changes. Build 4. Every updated build, new build, updated builds given to QA team for testing. Any executable format of the system is called a build. Code will not be given. Converted code into application format will be given. Application given to you, not the code. We are doing testing at application level, not at code level. Whatever the test cases prepared for testing this build, we have to start executing one by one. To test addition feature, to test subtraction feature, to test multiplication feature, we have prepared a bunch of test cases. Check addition with two positive integers, test case 1. 10, 20, expected 30. Check addition with two negative integers, -5, -10, expected -15. Finally, you have planned some test cases to verify various features of this calculator application. All these test cases, one by one, you have to execute. This approach is nothing but test case execution. While executing the test cases, any bugs identified, deviation, need to be properly documented and updated to the developer. Developer will resolve the reported bugs. For resolving the bugs, again they are doing some code changes, right? After code changes, they create the second build, again given to QA team. Again, we have to retest the reported bugs are correctly rectified or not. This process will continue until all bugs are closed, until all test cases are satisfied, pass. All bugs are fixed, closed. All test cases are passed. There's nothing to do. We stop testing. Maybe at build number 5, build number 6, everything is okay. That build number 5 or 6, where all the requirements are justified, we give it to the customer as first version. Builds meaning internally testing. 6th build, build number 6, all customer requirements are justified. That build number 6 given as first version to the client. Internal releases are called build. Client releases, market releases are generally called versions. Microsoft released Windows 11. Only they have compiled 11 times. Only they compile the code only for 11 times. Thousands of times they have compiled internally. Market releases are called versions. Internal compilations are called builds. Hope you got it? Take the notes about it. Test execution. Test execution. In this phase, QA team, executes the test cases on the given build. We execute test cases on the given build, given application. Defects identified during test execution. Defects identified during test execution. Various problems we have identified during test run. Defects identified during test execution will be documented in defect report and sent to the developer. Defects identified during test run will be documented and communicated to the developer. Continuation. Next paragraph. Developer fix reported defects. Developer fix reported defects. Then create a modified build. Release it to QA team. Programmer fix the bug, compile the modified version, given to QA team. Next paragraph. What we do here? No guarantee reported bugs are correctly rectified. we do retesting to confirm the reported bugs are correctly rectified. After retesting, we do regression testing in order to find out the side effects which may occur because of these bug fixes. Take it. QA team perform retesting. QA team perform retesting on the modified build. QA team perform retesting on the modified build to confirm reported defects are correctly rectified or not. To confirm reported defects are correctly rectified or not. To confirm reported defects are correctly rectified or not. Continuation. After retesting, we perform regression testing. After retesting, we perform regression testing to identify the side effects. After retesting, we do regression testing to identify the side effects. This process will be continued. Till all defects are closed. This process will be continued till all defects are closed. So this is a brief about test execution. For any build, implicitly there is a job. Smoke testing or sanity testing. Whenever you receive a build, either build 1 or build 2 or build 3 or build 4 or build 20, build 40, build 80. Any build, first we need to perform smoke test or sanity test before we start executing the test cases. We have prepared 100 test cases to test a product. First build is given. Straight away I started executing the test cases. After executing 40-50 test cases, I encountered some major issues. Not able to continue remaining 40-50 test cases. At that time, I report to my manager, sir, given application not in a testable condition, there are many major issues. After 4 days, I encountered some major issues which are not permitting me to go further. 4 days of time, what I have spent is waste. To avoid this kind of situation, better, whenever you receive a new build from the development team, have a small check, first of all, whether it is in a testable condition or not. The application consistently operable or not. All major features are available to continue further testing or not. This approach is called smoke testing, also can be called as sanity testing. In the very beginning versions, in the very beginning builds, unstable builds, fresh builds, we call this activity as smoke testing. On the later builds, almost 10-15 builds are tested. Generally, system is consistently working now because 10-15 times it is tested. In that scenario, in the build number 16, build number 17, build number 21, 20 times already tested. No chance of generally major failures because 20 times already tested. At build number 20, build number 21, build number 41, before I start executing the test cases, when I have a cross check, it is in a testable condition or not, it is called sanity testing. On the fresh build, on the beginning builds, unstable builds, if we had a small check, whether they were in a testable condition or not, it is called smoke testing. When the same activity carried out on the later build, this is called sanity testing. Here the objective is not to find out the bug, to conclude, to make a decision, can I run these test cases or not smoothly? The given application is in a testable position or not. Shall we continue or not? To make a decision, we do a small cross-check called smoke testing or sanity testing. Then we start executing the test cases. While executing the test cases, so you remember we have to update 2 columns in the sheet, test case sheet.
Actual expectation and actual
status.
Actual results and status.
Status.
Summary. We left these 2 columns blank. While executing the test cases, we observe the actual behavior of the system, update it. Compare actual and expected. When both are same, pass, status pass. When there is a deviation, status fail. Every failed test case results in a bug, defect. When the test case will become fail? When there is a deviation from expected and
actual.
You know the deviation from expected to actual, nothing but a defect or a bug. Every failed test case results in a defect or a bug. These defects need to be properly documented and updated to the developer. They fix the problem, give the modified version, no guarantee it is correctly rectified. We have to do retesting. In order to fix the bug, to add new requirement, to modify existing requirement, programmer will do some code changes. Sir, whenever you receive the modified build meaning some modifications are made. These modifications may introduce side effects. First, we need to understand why this modified build created. What are the bugs rectified? What are the new requirements added? What are the existing requirements modified? So what are the other areas connected to these modified areas? Those areas need to be again tested for the confirmation sake called regression testing. Like build 3, build 4, build 5, build 6, build 7, build 20, build 21. At build number 21, all test cases status pass. All defect status is closed. There's nothing to do. We stop testing and deliver the product to the client. This entire activity comes under test case execution. So let us start executing some test cases. Let us start executing some test cases. Right. Here, to teach you how to execute the test cases, I took 3 sample test cases here. These 3 sample test cases belongs to Premise Bank application. Check admin login with valid inputs. Test case 1. Here you have documented procedure. Test case 2. Check admin login with invalid inputs. I'll teach you how to execute the test case on these Premise Bank 3 sample test cases. And you execute test cases belongs to RIHRM. One more test case here. Check admin change password functionality with valid input. To explain you how to execute the test cases, I will run these 3 test cases now. First one, check admin login with valid input in Primus Bank project. The first step here, open the browser, enter valid URL and click go. I'm running the first step. The test data available. The step 1 executed. What we are seeing is called actual, right? It is actual. What is expected? System should display Primus Bank homepage. What is actual? System display Primus Bank homepage. System display Primus Bank homepage. I can write like this. So already expected available. System should display Primus Bank homepage. We observed actual also same. Actual result as expected. Can I write like this? What is the column label? Actual result as expected. Actual as expected. Why to repeat the same story once again? Make it simple. Actual as expected. I'll update the status as pause. Pause generally we show in green color for ease of tracing results. Let me run the second step. Enter valid username, admin. Enter valid password, admin, and click login. I entered a valid username, valid password, and click login. This is actual. System showing admin module. What is expected? System should display admin module. Yes, system displayed admin module. As expected, status pause. Last step belongs to test case 1. Click logout. It is actual. System redirected to Primus Bank homepage. What is expected? System should redirect to Primus Bank homepage. Yes, redirected. As expected, pause. 3 steps available for test case 1. All 3 steps are executed and pause. Here I'll update the summary also as pause. See, test case 1 has 3 steps. This is step 1 results, pause. Step 2 result, pause. Step 3 result, pause. As all steps are paused, test case 1 is pause. If any one of the steps fail, test case summary is failed. Step result it is correct. This is step result. Step 1 pause. Step 2 pause. Step 3 pause. All steps belongs to test case 1 pause. Test case summary also pause. If any one of the steps fail, there is a problem in the functionality. Test case 1 is failed. Sir, if everything is paused, do you need to communicate anything to developer now? Sebas developer, you made a good job? No appreciation. Really, I'm unhappy here because everything is working. When I find a bug, then only I'm the happiest person. Immediately I contact the developer, I poke the developer. There's a mistake. Job finding the bugs, right? Right. Right. Second test case. Check admin login with invalid credentials, invalid inputs. First step, enter valid URL and click go. System should display Payments Bank homepage. Already we have executed it. As expected, pause. Enter invalid username, ABCD, valid password, admin and click login. Second step. Invalid username, valid password, click login. System showing some error message, incorrect username or password, banker name or password. System should display appropriate error message. System is showing, correct? This step also working as expected. This step also pause. Enter valid username, admin, invalid password, ABCD, and click login. Valid username, invalid password, and click login. System showing some message, incorrect username or password. System should display appropriate message. Is it showing meaningful message or not? Working as expected, pause. Enter invalid username, ABC, invalid password, XYZ, and click login. Invalid username, invalid password, and click login. Incorrect username or password. System showing appropriate message. For any combination, it should display generic message. Already we have discussed about it. Done. Last step. Leave username, password blank and click login. I leave username, password blank and click login. Incorrect username or password. System should display appropriate message. Here I feel it's not the appropriate message. Remaining previously okay. I enter some data showing incorrect username or incorrect password. That is acceptable. Nothing entered, I click login. What is a better alert here?
Username and password cannot be blank.
Please fill in the mandatory fields. Or username or password cannot be empty. But it is showing incorrect username or password. I didn't enter anything. I feel it is a not relevant message. Can I consider as a bug? High severity bug? Serious issue? It's online thing. Is it a very serious issue?
No.
Maybe message is not meaningful. Finally, it is not allowing to continue. But message is irrelevant. It's a bug, I will say low priority or medium priority. Medium. Not major issue, correct? Minor issue, not very major issue. Finally, it is a small issue. Yes, you tell me now what you want me to update here. For the step, leave username, password blank and click login. System now showing a relevant message. What do you want me to write? Tell me, madam. Not as expected. A Hindi teacher training, the student how to speak Hindi. Idhar aao. The question the student asked, sir, how to say to go there? I'll go there again, idhar aao. It is something like this. Previously expected available. Expected available. Actual also same. Hence I made it simple. Working as expected, because expected clearly available. Actual also same, as expected. Not as expected, you said. Not working as expected. Okay, what is the problem then? Are you giving any details about what is the problem to anybody here by writing not as expected? Hope you are getting what I am trying to say. You are saying not working. Not working, okay, what is the problem? You are missing that information here, right? If working as expected, expected already available, actual also same, you can make it simple as expected. If there is a deviation, don't write not as expected. Hope you understand what I said. Inappropriate error message or okay. System displaying inappropriate, not relevant message. Error message. I'll make the step as fail. Fail we show in red color. Use only these two colors. Pass green. Fail red. Don't use any TDP or BJP colors. Only two colors. Pass green. Show red in. Fail in red. Okay, only two colors. Here as of now, I have documented system displaying inappropriate error message. Inappropriate error message. Anyhow, every failed step we have to document and report to developer, right? Tell me immediately what we will do generally while working. One step is failed. Every failed step results in a defect, right? So if one step is failed, test case summary also fail. Every failed step results in a defect. Immediately we need to document this and update to developer, right? Defect report template. We'll discuss about this. But this time, when I am documenting the defect, you can easily understand how to make use of this defect report template. Defect defect 1. Here I am explaining you how to document this defect. We follow a defect report template, like a scenario template, like test case template, like RTM template. We follow defect report template. Sir, in your company, you define these templates? You define these templates? Already templates will be available in your company. No. We have to use the templates. You should not modify the templates. Because template meaning a process defined by your management. Same process you have to carry out. Defect summary. Tell me. Summary meaning. Sir, I'm not teaching any Chinese or Japanese, English only. Truly speaking, I no need to explain this template. In the label itself, very clear what it is. Defect summary.
Relevant message.
You encountered one bug. We encountered one bug. Precisely, you have to explain the bug here. What is the problem? Summary of the defect. Tell me.
Relevant display.
Login, displaying inappropriate error message when we click login without entering username and password. Detailed description, defect description. When we leave username, password blank and click login, system displaying incorrect username or password instead of username, password can't be empty. So very clearly you have described. Summary meaning, where is the problem? Login displaying inappropriate error message when we click login without entering username and password. For whom you are reporting this? Developer. So developer should understand the problem, right? Then inappropriate error message, then what it is? Detailed description. When we leave username password blank and click login, system displaying incorrect username or password instead of username password cannot be empty. It's clear now. Defect number, summary of the defect, detailed description about the defect. Whether this problem is occurring every time or not, reproducible. What is the general meaning of reproducible? When a problem is occurring every time, it is called reproducible. This problem is occurring every time or not? Check. Nothing entered, click login. In some applications, not related to this. Sometimes, when I click About Us, it is showing the appropriate page. Maybe next time I do not know the technical reason. Next time I do not know the technical reason. When I click About Us, it is showing some runtime error. Sometimes working, sometimes not working. As a tester, I do not know what is happening. What is the technical reason? This problem is not coming every time. If a defect is coming every time, yes, it is reproducible. If the problem is not occurring every time, no, it is not reproducible. I'll explain this template one more time. Reproducible steps. See, we are reporting a defect to the developer. While reporting a bug to developer, better you list out what are the steps you have to follow to produce this bug. By giving reproducible steps, see, as a tester, I encountered a bug. I know the steps to produce the bug. By giving reproducible steps, I'm helping my developer in quickly understanding the reported bug. I'll document like this. Step 1. Launch Premise Bank application. Step 2. Login as admin. Step 3. No, not login as admin, sorry. What is step 2? Leave username, password blank and click login. Why we are documenting this reproducible steps? So that we are reporting a defect to the developer. You clearly communicated to the developer this problem is coming in the application every time. Yes, reproducible. And this is the procedure to, these are the steps to produce a bug. Developer also will follow the same step to understand the reported bug. So when you reported a bug, first developer need to analyze it, right? When the developer understands the problem, then only he can able to resolve the problem. By giving reproducible steps, we are helping our developer in quickly understanding the reported bug. And what is the next column here? Defend severity. How serious it is. Low, medium. It's a medium or low. Is it a so serious issue? Very high, high, medium, low are the severities. Defect severity indicates how serious this problem to the end user, customer. Severity. A fan not working. How serious it is to our training? What is the impact of it? Online team, in my classroom, one fan is not working. A fan not working here. How serious this problem to our training? What is the impact of this problem to our training execution?
Low.
Negligible. Negligible, right? Low. Hence my people are not fixing it. As the severity is low, developer not fixing it. Understand? If there is a problem with my mic, if there is a problem with internet connection, next second they will be resolving it. Very high severity, serious issue. Showstopper defect. If the problem is not resolved, we cannot go further. Very high severity. We encounter different bugs, spelling mistakes, alignment mistakes, color mistake, usability issue, security issue, by a functionality not working. We have to judge or assess how serious they are to the usage, business. And we have to decide the severity. Very high, high, medium, low. Who is the right person to decide the severity? Developer or tester?
Developer. Sorry, tester.
Who is the right person to decide the severity of the bug? How serious this problem to the end user?
Tester.
Tester.
You know the user requirement well. So we are the right people to decide the severity of the bug. If you give this option to developer, what happens? Developer will say all are low severity because they made them. They made the issue, right? Their mistake. They will say it's a light issue, I will resolve it. Developer will not agree there are major issues. As we know the end user requirements well, we are testing the application in an end user business point of view. Hence, we are the right people to decide the severity. Tester is the right person to decide the severity. Let's say we have identified about 10 issues, 10 bugs. All 10 bugs are reported to developer. All 10 bugs to be rectified. Now developer decides the priority. Generally priority meaning what to do first, what to do next, what to do next. 10 bugs are reported. What to be resolved first, what to be resolved next, what to be resolved next, decided by the developer. Why? Who is resolving the bug? Who is resolving the bug?
Developers.
So developer will decide what to be resolved first, what to be resolved next. Assign the priorities. It is very high priority for fixing. It is high priority for fixing. It is low priority for fixing. So here, I updated severity, medium severity. Low severity. You want me to update the priority? I'm a tester here. I'll leave this column blank. I will not decide the priority. Developer will decide the priority. But mostly, severities and priorities are directly proportional to each other. But one or two scenarios, this may change. So today my concentration is on test execution. Tomorrow I'll explain this template once again. Okay? While executing a test case, when you find a bug, immediately we have to document, update and send to the developer. For that reason, I am filling the defect here. Status of the bug. It's a new bug. There are remaining many other statuses we'll discuss tomorrow. It's a new bug, new defect. Detected by the name of the person who identified. Tester name. Today date. When the problem is detected. In which bill the problem is detected. Bill number 1. Assigned to developer name. My manager will inform me, if I'm a team member, Suresh, while executing the test cases, whatever the defects you have identified, report to this developer 1. So, whatever the defects I identified, I report to developer 1. Fixed date, when the problem is rectified. Who will fill this? Developer. Once the defect is resolved, I retest. The problem is correctly resolved, I change the status to close. Here I'll update finally when the bug was closed. Sir, fixed is not guarantee really the problem is fixed. Closed is a guarantee the problem is closed. Developer said problem is resolved, no guarantee. We retest. If correctly resolved, close. Not correctly resolved, reopen. Now I reported the bug to the developer. Then I'll continue this. Now till this point understood? Defect report, again tomorrow I'll explain in detail. Okay? Now, test case 3 I am executing. I identified one defect. We encountered one bug. The bug documented and reported to the developer. Then we continue next test case execution. What is that? Check admin change password with valid inputs. First step, enter the URL and click go button. First step, working as expected. Working as expected. Pause. Next step. Login as admin. Because this test case is about checking admin able to change the password or not. For that, we have to log in as admin. Username value admin, password value admin. I log in as admin. System should display admin module. Yes, system showing admin module. This is also working as expected. Pause. Click change password. Oh. We are getting a runtime error. Yes, what do you want me to write here? System displaying runtime error. What is the status? Fail. We encountered one more bug. Whenever you find a bug, immediately you need to update the bug. Defect 2. Defect summary. Summary meaning Precise information, brief details about the bug. Admin change password, not working. Admin change password not working. Here I give more details about the bug. When we click change password in admin module, system display some runtime error. This problem is coming every time? Yes. It's coming every time. Yes. Reproducible or not? Yes. What is the importance of the reproducible column? Tomorrow you will understand in detail. Why we need this column? Tomorrow I'll explain. Reproducible steps. Step 1. Launch the Premise Bank application. Step 2. Login as admin. Step 3. Click
Change password.
change password. What is the severity of this bug?
High.
High severity.
Definitely
High severity.
Correct. Frequently, admin will change the password. Unfortunately, change password is not working. High severity. As of now, it's a new bug. After we report a new bug to the developer will do some work. Tomorrow we'll discuss about it. As of now, just we are understanding how to report a bug, how to document the bug. Tomorrow I'll explain about all the components of the defect report template in detail. Detected by tester name, the date, detected date, detected in version, build 1, assigned to the developer name. I do not know when the developer is going to resolve it. Actually, date of close also I am not going to update today. When the problem is resolved by the developer, given the modified build, we retest. The problem is correctly resolved, close. Finally, when the problem was closed, we are going to update here. Understand it? Generally, at this moment, date of closure will be pending. Only these are the columns we are going to fill now. Hope you understood this. Now, there's one more step left in. Enter all mandatory fields with valid data and click submit. Can we run this step? Because of change password link is not working, we don't have an option to execute the step 4. I'll update as blocked. Blocked meaning cannot run. We cannot run this. Blocked for execution. We can update like can't run. Same meaning, mostly in companies we follow the term block. It's blockage, blocked for execution, something like this. So this is about executing the test cases. Like this, we have to run the test cases. Hope you understand the process.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions on this discussion?
In this smoke test, how will check, sir? Without smoke test, we direct execute in the webs application.
Already I demonstrated for that reason I was not executed smoke testing today. What you will do in smoke testing? I made one student to do this. Just we check all the features are available or not. As I already have executed it, previously I already have explained about it. Hence, directly I have executed. Truly speaking, we have to check the application consistently operable or not. All the links are available or not. We able to access the application or not? Yes, we are able to access the application. Something like this. Previously, I already have explained, hence I was not executed today. First, we'll have a small check where you verify all the major features are available to continue further testing or not. As available, directly I have continued. Okay? Right.
Thank you, sir.
So, I have executed only 3. The project will have 3 or 30 or 300, the procedure will be the same. Already the documented steps are available, procedure available, step 1, step 2, step 3. Test execution meaning just following the steps. Data also available. What is the data you have to enter also documented. What is expected also documented. Follow the steps with the data, observe the actual behavior of the system, update in the column actual results. We compare expected and actual, update the status pass or fail. If any step fail, we have to document as a defect and report to the development team. There are 3 possible statuses for a test case. Expected, actual, both are same, pass. When there is a deviation from expected to actual, fail. For any reason you are not able to run a step, block. One test case will have multiple steps. When all steps are passed, test case summary pass. If any one of the steps fail, test case summary fail. Every failed test case results in a defect. In our company, we follow a template for recording the defect. We document the defect and report to development team. It is a process. But today I stop here. The 2 documents, the defect report, test cases after execution, I'll upload into our LMS. And tomorrow we'll talk about defect reporting again in detail. Again, tomorrow I'll document this defect. I'll explain all the columns. I'll give the notes about the defect report template tomorrow. Okay? Thank you. We continue tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, online team. We'll continue.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.